Hey guys, welcome to CreepyPasta Wednesday, which is a segment I do on my channel where I talk about a creepypasta I recently read about. And this week I researched one, and let's just say that it kind of ruined one of my childhood shows. So if you guys have seen my last two creepypasta videos, like, they kind of sucked and stuff, but I tried my best with this new one since I watched it yesterday. Like the story on creepypasta. But yeah, this kind of ruined this show for me, and I'm kind of like upset to talk about it. And no guys, this is not on the creepypasta about Hitalia episode 23.5. That's for the future. That's for another time. I do not want to talk about that. If you guys are wondering, this is about this creepypasta is about the Purgatory theory in the old TV show Ed and Eddy. I love that show. I loved it so much that I watched it into my teen years, because you're never too old to watch something that really it really made you happy back then, like as a child and stuff. Make sure no one enters the room so that way it won't stop the video. So anyways, I'm gonna get started on this video. If you guys don't want to listen to this and have your childhood of this, like, and have your childhood ruined, then please turn off your computer or go out somewhere and do something productive. I really don't give a shit. Just enjoy. So anyways, the theory about the Purgatory in Ed and Eddy. Why did this start? Who knows? Who started it? Who knows? But this is the theory. The theory is that every character in Ed and Eddy are all just ghosts who are living in the cul-de-sac after they have died in certain points in time, mainly the 20th century, going all the way to the first part sort of the 21st century. I'll get to that. We'll start with the first one, which was Rolf, who was one of the funniest characters I met. Like, he's the foreign guy who does all this farming, and he doesn't get along with most of the kids. What was said is that in 1903, he lived with his family out in the cul-de-sac, and he was always like doing all this farm work for his family's ranch and stuff, and he didn't have much cattle with him and stuff, and that's why, like, he's never antisocial with any of the kids in the cul-de-sac, and he always had farm animals, which he brought into the afterlife. And then one day in like I think the same year, I can't remember, but it was before the 1910s and stuff. But somewhere around that time, like, a bull had escaped from the barn, and despite his best efforts, he was trampled to death, and he couldn't pass on, so he became a ghost that lived in the Purgatory, whatever. The next to arrive was Johnny, who everyone knows is that little bald kid and known by Johnny 2x4, and he carried around that little board called Plank, and yeah, you know the gist. The point is that somewhere in the 1920s or so, I think it was the 1920s, I can't remember much, I'm trying my best, but in the 1920s, he didn't have much friends after moving into the cul-de-sac, and like, he would always do all these crazy things and stuff, and he eventually took a piece of plank board, which he named Plank, drew a face on it, and like, they will always do everything together. Even when he died of like some sort of cause, I can't remember, Plank was there, watch with him until his death, and that's why, even in the afterlife, he carried around Plank because he considered him as his true friend. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, when I watched the show, I made my own plank like several times because I thought the thing was kind of cool, but I don't carry around a plank anymore. So anyways, continuing on with theory, we go to the Great Depression. This is where Eddy, who is the swindler who always pranks everyone and like scams all the other kids for money so we could buy job breakers and stuff. He came during the Great Depression, and he had tried to like make money off himself because like this was the Great Depression, everyone was losing money and stuff, so he thought about making money by swindling some of the other kids in the cul-de-sac. But one day in 1939, one of his scams went very wrong, and he angered a bunch of kids, and so running away from them, he met his fate when he drowned in a river that he ran into and brought that trait into the afterlife. And that's why you always see him scamming some of the kids just so he could get money off them, because he was still greedy. He was still greedy even in the afterlife. He was very greedy. And next is Ed and his sister Sarah, the two siblings that we all know and love. Like, Ed is the tall, chinless, dumb kid of the group, and who has a little sister who's very dominant of himself. These two came shortly after the World War II, and their father was a soldier who died in World War II, and their mother was just very depressed about this. And I think she was like a worker and stuff, and she's always gone. And Ed, feeling bad about and like sad about his father's death, he never succeeded in school and would always slack off, read comic books, and watch some of the newest movies of that time, which explains why he was not that smart in the show. And he always reads a lot of comic books and watch a lot of movies and stuff, because he brought that trait with him after his death. And Sarah, she felt that she needed to step it up and like be like the boss of everyone, and that's why she bothers Ed a lot, and she was like this all the time in the show. And then in 1953, both of them met their face in a car accident while going to visit their grandparents' house, and passed on. They couldn't pass on, and so they became part of the Purgatory. Next is Naz. She came soon after in the 1970s, and she was one of the hits. She was like the flower girl of the group, and like she was kind of like a hippie, sort of like doing all those peace signs that you see in the show. And that how she died is that her family was like attacked by a murderer slash rapist who raped her family before doing the same thing to her and murdering them all. And that's why and like that's why when she passed on to that's why when she became part of the Purgatory, you see her like all the time doing like the peace sign, always cheery, and you see her flirting with the guys there, which is kind of weird. And we don't get to see her family, or she never even mentioned her family at all, because she wanted to throw away her memories of ever knowing who they were. And yeah, I'm gonna keep feeling like there's someone watching me. So anyway, continuing on with the theory. Next, coming in the 1990s was Kevin, who came during a time when his family was very poor. He lived like a horrible life. His father was very abusive and stuff, and so he developed like a bad personality, which is why in the show you see him always mad and stuff, and like always acting like he's better and stuff, because he wants a better family and stuff. And then one day in 1999, he ended up dying because he tried to stand up to his father, who, in a furious rage, beat him brutally, and on his way to the hospital died. And his father spent the rest of his life in prison. And so when he went to the Purgatory, his world sort of went like alternate, where his family is there and like they're very happy, but yet he's still like the bully type of person who doesn't like the kids and stuff. Though, yeah, you get what I'm looking at. And then finally, there's Jimmy, the little boy you see all the time with the braces, and he's very shy and stuff. He came in not the 1990s, but he came in 2000 with his family, and like he was dying of leukemia. And yeah, he was dying of leukemia, and he would always spend most of his time in his room because he had leukemia, he was dying, and so he spent like a long time in his deathbed until he finally passed on in 2000, which is why you see in the show like he's always that shy little boy who can't make friends with anyone. He doesn't like to get near much kids, and he only spends his time with Sarah and stuff. And so that's just kind of creepy and stuff. But yeah, so, and then there are the Canker sisters. You guys are wondering, how did the Canker sisters get there? Like, how did they die? But the theory is that they were never dead at all. In fact, they were actually demons that were sorry, my nose. That they were actually demons that were sent to the Purgatory to terrorize the other kids. And like that's why they have like normal pink tongues like we normally do, instead of those other colored tongues, which by the way in the show represents that each of the kids are dead, because some of them like have the green tongues and the purple tongues or whatever, and that's why they have normal tongues. and why they are such bullies of the other kids and they steal the trio's money and stuff. It makes perfect sense and stuff. So the moral of this thing is that, like, this is like the story. Sorry, my hair. I see it in the camera thing. Sorry. So the moral of this series is that, like, this is sort of one of the reasons why the kids in the show act like this. So if you guys watch this, I'm sorry if I ruined your childhood. I explained this the best as I can. Oh, that's right. Remember when I said the part about Johnny and like how he died? I just remembered. What caused his death is that he got tuberculosis and then he died during his battle with it. That's sort of what I forgot. I'm sorry. I should have remembered that sooner while talking about him. So yeah, like I said, Johnny died of tuberculosis. That's the theory. And so that's my CreepyPasta Wednesday today. If you guys want to see my old videos, my old CreepyPasta videos, the first one was about Jeff the Killer, and the second one, I think there was a second one. Let me check. Yes, I'm aware. I'm using my laptop at the moment to check what my last one was. I don't think I made a last CreepyPasta video. Let's see. Oh. Right, how could I be so stupid? The last CreepyPasta video I made was about the Superman curse, where, yeah, you get the gist. So yeah, the first episode is about Jeff the Killer. The second one was about the Superman curse. If you want to check those out, please check out my channel in the video thing, and you'll see them there. And check out my other segments, Review Thursday, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm going to be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy. And check out my Rooster Teeth video. My Rooster Teeth Monday, it was about Monty Ohm. When I talked about him and stuff, it was his birthday on Monday. Not only did I dedicate it to him, but I also dedicated it to my dad, who shares his birthday. So it was really great to make that video. So you guys check that out. Check out my vlogs that I rarely upload, but whatever. So please comment on my channel, like this video and other stuff. So I'm gonna get going because I need to blow my nose because my nose feels a little stuffy. So I'll talk to you guys later. Stripe Array logging out.